Hey everybody, welcome back to Labs Comic Fan. I'm Steve, and today we're talking Black Panther Unconquered #1. Wait, that's 2. First of all, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. And if you're viewing this and you haven't subscribed and you'd like to, please do so. Hit the button. It's pretty easy, and then you'll hear all the stuff that I say that's fun. And as always, for everybody who is subscribed, please put your thumbs in the upright position. So it's the holiday season. We got Thanksgiving coming up, followed by Christmas, and there's Hanukkah, and there's other things that I don't know about. But if you celebrate something, put it down in the comments and tell us about it. It would be pretty cool. Black Panther Wakanda Forever came out. I saw it. I'll talk about it at a different point. But I wanted to do a Black Panther comic. If you know me and you've watched my videos for a while, you know Black Panther is in my top 5 favorite characters of all time. I wanted to do a Black Panther comic. And also, stay tuned to the end, because I went out and I bought some more characters for the desk, and you'll get to see what I got. A couple of cool things, so just stay tuned to the end for an unboxing. It'll be, fun. All right, so let's get right into Black Panther. I'm going to read you a mini bio. It was from Wikipedia, or it might have been from Marvelpedia. Not 100% sure. So let's just get into this little mini history and bio. It says Black Panther is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. The character was created by writer, editor Stan Lee, and artist, co-plotter Jack Kirby. Those dudes created so much stuff. A lot of Jack Kirby in there. He's done a lot. I mean, you can go look up that information for yourself. The character first appeared in Fantastic Four number 52, cover dated July 1966. So think about that, man. That's crazy. That's like 56 years. That's amazing. In the Silver Age of comic books, Black Panther's real name is T'Challa, and he is depicted as the king and protector of the fictional African nation of Wakanda, along with possessing enhanced abilities achieved through ancient Wakandan rituals of drinking the essence of the heart-shaped herb. T'Challa also relies on his proficiency in science, rigorous physical training, hand-to-hand combat skills, and access to wealth and advanced Wakandan technology to combat his enemies. So that's amazing. So a lot of you guys know that Wakanda is the most technologically advanced place in Marvel Comics. There's also a lot of really cool lore. Hickman did some really cool stuff with Black Panther in the Avengers comics. There's so much cool stuff that we could go over, but I just want to focus on this comic itself, because I feel this is a good jumping on point. If you know the movie and stuff, you can easily follow this comic book. But if you don't, then, still watch it anyway, because you get to hang out with me, and that's always just great. T'Challa is talking to a priestess about the validity of their gods. She feels that he comes to her not of faith, but of obligation. She senses doubt in him. T'Challa believes in their gods. He makes his offering and honors their names. The priestess says, "You believe they exist, but their presence does not comfort you. You believe they watch you and do nothing while the human world suffers." T'Challa has to cut their meeting short, as there is a problem in Kafari village that needs the Black Panther. She offers words of encouragement to protect their people and know the gods are watching him. T'Challa hopes they are proud of what he has become. So T'Challa's talking to this priestess about their gods, and he's kind of conflicted a little bit. He's definitely deeply religious and believes in his gods, but he also has this responsibility to his people, and to where he has to do things, but they also have to do things for themselves, because it's not like Wakanda didn't get to technologically advance just by their gods. They also had to do these things, and there's a giant mountain of vibranium, but they still had to learn all of this stuff. So he's definitely a very interesting character, because you got the faith and the science thing that always clashes together, and he's both. He's super smart, one of the smartest guys. He's his sister Shuri is amazing with science and technology, and he lives on both of those edges. So it's really hard for him to just be one specific way, because you have a lot of people in Wakanda that believe in the old ways, but you also have a lot of people in Wakanda that are like, the technology that they have protects them from the outside world. And it also gives them the ability to still have that old time culture and it not be interfered with the outside world. The priestess says, you believe they exist, but their presence doesn't come for you. They don't, you don't think they're going to help with the human suffering around the world. And T'Challa has to cut the conversation short because Black Panther is needed outside of Wakanda in this village of Kafari. So Kafari is about 15 miles outside of Wakanda, and over the next couple pages, we find out a little bit more about the story and where it's going. This militia team has taken over the village of Kafari, and they're looking for something. And we cut to inside this temple. It's a guy blocking a door, and he is praying to a deity called Mother Bast. And he's praying to her to get the strength to help him repel his enemies. It didn't work out so well for him. The door blasts open, and a bunch of men come in. One of them says, I heard your prayers, but your goddess has failed you. The man looks up at the vigilante and he's like, the spear must not be disturbed. Please don't do this. So now we kind of know that these vigilantes, this militia, is looking for some sort of spear or ancient weapon. And the vigilante says, hey, if you just tell me where it is, we will spare the village. We won't kill anybody. And the man says, I'm going to leave my fate up to Mother Bast. So you can see that these people really, really believe in this Mother Bast deity. So important to them that this guy's not willing to give up the spear and put all of his faith into Mother Bast and not take the out of, you won't kill the villagers, which they probably would have anyway, but still, their faith is that strong. But the vigilante says, so be it, and he torches the guy with a flamethrower. The bad guy in question is referred to as Archon. He feels that the blade is nearby, and he raises the pendant, and it's used to break the seal on the hiding place of the weapon. He also instructs his men to kill the villagers, leave no survivors. The men line up all the villagers ready to assassinate them, guns raised and people frightened. The men aim to shoot when Black Panther jumps from the shadows, slicing one of the guns in half and throwing an electric shuriken into the head of another would-be shooter. He leaps at another man, kicking him in the face with such force that the man's mask breaks. The last of them shoots fiercely at T'Challa to no effect, his vibranium suit repelling the bullets and striking fear into the man's heart. T'Challa grabs the man by the throat and looks directly at his face, speaking to his sister, Shuri, through the optics in his helmet, asking who these men are. Shuri has never seen them before and scans the symbol, running it through their database. She tells T'Challa that they have enough now and he can be done with him. T'Challa breaks the man's nose with pleasure. After he's done, he looks around at all the people bowing to him, one of the men saying he knew Mother Bast would protect them. T'Challa tells them to protect themselves. Learn that the bad guy's name is Archon, and he's looking for this spear. And he has this pendant, and he raises it, and it opens up this trap door. And he goes in there, but he tells the other guys to kill all the villagers, leave no survivors. So they go out there to do that, and this is where Black Panther jumps in and just starts wrecking them, man. He slices a gun in half, he kicks the shit out of this other guy. It's fantastic. This one guy shooting bullets at him, it's just bouncing off of his vibranium suit, and I'm sure at that point in time, he took a crap in his pants, so, that was awesome. And he grabs one of the guys by the neck and looks him right in the face. And this is where we see some of the awesome technology of the suit. Shuri, back in Wakanda base, is talking to him through the optics in the suit. And he wants to know who these people are. She doesn't know. She's never seen it before. But she runs the data through their database. And she's like, I have enough. You can dispense with them. And he's like, gladly. But after T'Challa's done doing that, he notices that the people all around him are bowing to him. And the guy's like, surely Mother Bast has protected us. And he's like, you need to protect yourselves. So that's kind of like the warring going on between the spiritual and doing things for yourself that they've hit on in this comic straight from the beginning. So Shuri's talking to T'Challa. She finds out that they're a Germanic cult called the Volk. And the leader is a guy named Archon. T'Challa says they went into the temple, they were looking for something. Shuri tells them that they go to different villages searching for mysterious artifacts, and then they leave these villages in ruin. They lay waste to them. She says they're zealots, and they don't have any mercy. They're to be taken very seriously. So they cut to Archon, and he's down in that chamber, and he sees a statue of this god called Magba, the god of rage, death, whatever. And he sees the spear, and he makes a weird comment, pretty prevalent to the story. He says, the Volk will have the spear, and Bast will lose again. So there seems to be a big war between Bast and Magba. I hope I'm saying it right. If it's Magba, I'm sorry. So this seems to be a war that's been going on for years, because for Bast to lose again, that means Magba had to have won at one point. One of his men goes to grab the spear, and Archon stops him. And he says, I'll do this. And he goes up and he grabs the spear, and the guy asks him, do you feel the power? And he says, it will again when it tastes blood. And he screams, for the Volk. And he goes up and he just jumps down and stabs this guy right in the head with the spear. And then another one in the chest. It's just ridiculous. This guy, like you said, has no mercy. Power fills him, and he talks to the spear as if it's alive. He's saying, yes, Magba, take me. And it's just filling him with, he's just the crazy also. Black Panther jumps in the room, surprised at what he sees, and he's like, by the goddess. And Archon looks at him, he's like, by the goddess who fell? Standing over his dead men, Archon talks to T'Challa about Magba the Destroyer, saying the king does not even know his own gods. He explains about the 7 god killers. 7 times did gods fall, each with their own weapon, and whoever claims them will live forever and be unstoppable. The first weapon Archon claimed under T'Challa's ignorance. Black Panther says this will be your last, but Archon thinks he only needs one to defeat T'Challa. Archon lunges at Black Panther, thrusting the spear into the vibranium armor, knocking him through one of the statues. Black Panther stands up, composing himself, and feeling the strength of Bast next to him, he starts his counterattack. But Archon's power seems too much for him to overcome. The spear strikes T'Challa's face, breaking his mask, leaving him on the ground. Archon approaches, taunting the Wakandan king, saying he will tell the Volk about the mighty Wakanda and how it died on its knees. Behind T'Challa is another one of the ancient weapons, the Sword of Bast. He grabs it, and the real fight starts. Fighting for both their lives, the spirits of Magba and Bast are interlocked in a struggle that has spanned ages, now being fought between these two men. Black Panther parries the spear, and with one mighty swing of the sword, he breaks the spear of Magba in half, thus breaking the man Archon. Standing above his opponent, embodying the spirit of Bast, King T'Challa tells Archon, Wakanda will tell a different tale, cultist. Standing over his dead men, Archon, he's talking about Magba the Destroyer, and he's saying that the king doesn't even know his own gods. And it's pretty wild, because he explains this story about the 7 god killers. The 7 times they fell, they each had their own weapons, and that if whoever possessed these weapons would live for eternity and be unstoppable. And then he got that first weapon under T'Challa's ignorance. And T'Challa's like, that's the only one you're getting. T'Challa is a little bit different. Black Panther's a little bit different than most regular superheroes. A lot of superheroes will, just take someone prisoner or something like that all of the time, or stop them, give them to the authorities. A lot of the time, Black Panther just kills you. You're done. There's other times like this, he might take a prisoner because he needs to learn more about what this guy knows. So a lot of the other times, he's just gonna kill you because you mess with Wakanda. It's like literally you don't do that. There's a reason why not many people have got in there, because if you get in, you're probably not coming out. So they have this epic fight, man. It's going back and forth, and then T'Challa, he's getting messed up. His suit gets hit. He kind of stands there because, like most weapons, it absorbs and then poof, repels the damage. But this time, it blew him back through the statue. And he looks behind him, and he sees a sword. And it's the Sword of Bast. And he ends up picking it up, and they have this fight, and it's great how they show this. One of the cool things about T'Challa is the way he's drawn a lot, like the emotion in his face when he's pissed. It looks so awesome. There was this scene in the Hickman Avengers where he found out that Namor is the one who sent the Black Order into Wakanda, and the blood rage in his face is just amazing, and they kind of capture it here too. And they have this great fight back and forth, And it's cool because it shows that Bast and Magba, and it's just showing how both of these guys are embodying the spirits of these deities, and this fight is now being fought through them. Archon's getting the upper hand, and he says, I'm going to tell the Volk about the mighty Wakanda and how it died on its knees. And you're just like, oh, crap. Black Panther starts coming back, man. He starts making his comebacks. He swings the sword, and he breaks the spear of Magba. And he's like, Wakanda is going to tell a different tale, cultist. Not only did he just beat him, but he took his soul. Like, all the fight left in him went out. And the look on his face, he was like, because before him was not only Black Panther, but Bast. And it was really well done. I really, really liked it. So in Wakanda, a defiant Archon is standing before T'Challa, and he says, you've done nothing. The Volk remain. And T'Challa tells the guards, throw him in prison, and they will ask him about these Volk later on. And while the guy's getting escorted out, he says, we know you now, T'Challa. We know you now. And that's interesting. We don't know much about the Volk through this comic, but that could mean a lot of things going forward for T'Challa. So this is really cool how they did the ending of this comic. The beginning conversation with the priestess, T'Challa goes back to her and he's talking to her, and they start showing their conversation over top of things that are happening. Shuri's working on some stuff, the technology side, and the priestess asks him, she says, and how is your faith now, King? He tells her he didn't really understand what happened in that chamber, and she says, look, I didn't ask what you understood. I'm asking you what you believed. So keep that in the back of your mind for a moment. We see T'Challa talking to Doctor Strange and Reed Richards, telling him about the Volk, and Reed is kind of like, I'd like to have that spear and that sword for testing, and T'Challa's like, you can have the spear, but you can't have the sword. That's a sacred item to us. And Doctor Strange is like, I'll find out more about this Magba. So at least they have Reed Richards and Doctor Strange working on some things for him. T'Challa answers the priestess. He believes that Bast was there with him today. She says he is mistaken. Bast has always been with you. He looks her right in the eyes and asks, do you know of Magba? She does. He wants to know everything she knows, and may Bast watch over us all. For it seems something else is watching us too. Remember that question I told you to hold on to in the back of your mind? The priestess asks, how is your faith now, King? T'Challa says, I believe that Bast was with me there today. And she says, you are mistaken. Bast has always been with you. Then he gets a very serious look, and he looks her right in the eye. And he says, do you know of Magba? And she says, I do. And he's like, you're going to tell me everything about Magba. I want to know everything. And may Bast watch over us all, because I'm pretty sure something else is watching us too. So that's where it ends. And I thought it was a great ending. It tied together with the beginning. There was great action. And this was a great comic for a #1 to start off on a cool Black Panther story. We got the science and technology. We got the mysticism and deities and their culture and stuff. But we also got a lot of cool action for a first comic. We got to see some kick-ass fights. We got to see Black Panther just wreck some, red shirts, which was always good. So what did you guys think of this story? I thought it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to read the next one. So this was written by Brian Hill, and Alberto Foci did the art, or it's Foche. I'm so bad with these names. I give the art a 2.5. It was okay. There were some times that it was good. It was serviceable. Black Panther looked cool. I've seen him look better. But I give the story a 3.5 because it had everything. It had everything that you want in a comic book starting off to hook you to get to where we're going next. It had a story. It had action, and then it had a little bit of a cliffhanger that came from the story itself. So why don't you guys comment below in what you guys thought about the story? And we're going to get into this unboxing, but recently we passed over 200 subscribers. Yes! And I really appreciate it, guys. That's awesome. And I know a long time ago when I was trying to get subs. I was doing all these giveaways, and they were really hard. I know I was going to give away something for 200 subs. So I wasn't planning on doing it again after the how hard it was to do the Batman giveaway. And finally, you know, we got that to somebody, Hakan in Istanbul, Turkey. He's an awesome viewer of the show, really good guy. We're going to end up doing a video together of The Dark Knight Returns. We're going to review that together. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you guys are interested in a giveaway, I have tons of stuff. Just comment down below, yes, you're interested. If I get a decent amount of comments, then I'll do something. And we'll figure it out together. We'll pick some stuff. But let's get into this cool stuff that I picked up, man. Let's get into this first. So I pre-opened most of these because, you know, these boxes are ridiculous. So the first one I'm going to do is, I saw this. I've seen these before at Walmart. And they look like old school boxes of DC characters, right? And I was like, I'm going to have to pick one up. I wanted to pick one up just to see how I like it. If I did like it, I was going to get some of the other ones. So I ended up getting Darkseid. And here's the box. It's pretty neat. So we're going to take him out and see how it holds up. This is actually not a bad little character. It's the old school Darkseid with the blue. And I like it. It's not bad at all. This holds up pretty well. I'm going to find a spot for him probably over there with Thanos, since, you know, they basically are wiener cousins. Box art is really, really neat. It's old school looking, and it's really cool. And these are for ages 12 and up, which I thought was hilarious. All right, next we're going to go with an X-Men Legends. So I already have one of these, and I want to get the rest of them. So in this series, the Build-A-Figure is Bonebreaker, the half-tank, half-person guy. There's Wolverine, there's Siren, there's Havoc, there's Vulcan, there's Maggot, there's Darwin, and Sabretooth. I ended up getting Vulcan. Vulcan is awesome, super powerful. So one of the things I always thought was weird with the Marvel ones, they're good figures. They're not nearly as good as the DC McFarlane figures. But the necks on them are so weird. They're so big. And it's just very odd looking. But we're definitely going to have to put Vulcan up here because he's such a badass character. And lastly, I've been wanting this one for a while. I got the Batman version of this set right here. The Snow Batman. Which is really, really neat. The Build-A-Figure on this is the Frost King on the back right here. And we ended up getting a piece of his body. All I need now is the Black Adam and the John Stewart Green Lantern, which I really, really want the John Stewart one. But this is the DC Multiverse Wonder Woman. I'm going to say this is amazing, guys. This is amazing. Look at this. Dude, that is awesome. Awesome. And I love these DC figures because they come with their stands. They come with a card, which is always cool. So you can put them on the stands so they stand up for you. The articulation on these things are incredible. And just they just look so good, dude. They're so good. They're so well made. The McFarlane Toys is definitely where it's at for these figures. And this is a great collection. I'm going to put it with the Batman. And when we get the Frost King, we're going to put him together on like we did with the Darkfather Batman. And it comes with the card. And right now we have, let's count how many we've got so far since the show started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have the Wonder Woman, the Endless Winter Wonder Woman. We have the Armored Batman. We have the Endless Winter Batman. We have Dr. Fate. We got Lobo. We got Superman from the Black Adam edition over there. We got Robin, the Robin King from Dark Knight's Death Metal. We got King Shazam from Dark Knight's Death Metal. We got Wonder Woman from Dark Knight's Death Metal. We got Superman from Dark Knight's Death Metal. And we got Batman from Dark Knight's Death Metal. We got Batman Dark Detective from DC Future State. We got Batman from DC Rebirth. We got Red Hood from Batman The Three Jokers. And we got the Flashpoint Batman, which is one of my favorites right there, Thomas Wayne. And we got the Joker. So that's a lot of DC characters at I think they're like $24 a pop. But it's well worth it for me, to be honest. I love these. And honestly, guys, I'm so happy that the subscribers are picking up and the views are picking up. I really hope that you guys like the show. I'm going to be, like I said, to be doing more episodes. Next time on the Labs Comic Fan, we're going back to Gambit. And it'll be Gambit number 2. And it's been fun, man. That's been a fun comic book. So, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. I will see you after Thanksgiving. I might do a live stream Friday after Thanksgiving. I will post it on my Twitter. So, follow me on Twitter. You can check me at Laps Comic Fan on Twitter. That'll give you all the updates to what I'm doing and things like that. You can always join the group. It's the Pop Culture Project group on Facebook. There you could talk about anything. You could promote anything you want. It's a lot of fun. All my videos are posted there. Same with Twitter and my Instagram that I post stuff to. There's many ways you could find the show, guys, but thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving and whatever other holidays you guys... Whatever. Peace out! I want some turkey. I want some turkey, turkey, turkey. Nemo.